final series of our 2025 GHSA League of Legends State Championship. This is going to be Northview on red side versus Lambert on blue side. And once again, this is the finals, best of 3. Lambert has taken game 1. Can Northview rally here in game 2 to take us to the game 3 of the series? Or will Lambert prove to be too much? Although in the game 1, Lambert was behind a little bit, they did make a good rally, and that's really took over the game very quickly. So Lambert is very dangerous when they're ahead. We do know that much. Nothing too fishy happening at the beginning of the game here. Looks like Lambert's top jungle maybe tries to go at least get a ward on the enemy Raptors, just to try to get a better idea of where they're starting. Draft-wise, this game, we do see some similar picks, I believe. Yeah, I mean, Yasuo Mother did really well in Galio last game, and he got it again. I was wondering if they were going to do this, and it looks like they did decide to send Venom mid, so a similar swap like we saw in the semifinal series. I want to say Venom was AD carry in the first game, but now Venom's going to get on Yasuo, come mid lane. PBM Gamer is going to flex on to flex down to bottom lane, still on a mage pick. So we do know from Northview side they definitely like to play around Venom as one of their higher elo players, and Venom definitely did perform in the semifinal series and throughout the season, I'm sure. But yeah, we definitely know Lambert's really solid on that Galio pick, be able to make plays across the map. Meanwhile, Lambert bottom lane got the Zeri Yumi combo, so definitely just likes to go really fast, and it can be hard to deal with once he gets ramped up. Good trades from Yasuo Mother. Funny enough, it's Yasuo Mother playing Galio against Yasuo here. You have the Gnar Ornn. I want to think you maybe pick the Gnar into the Ornn. Gnar definitely feels nice having that long range in the early game, but still a lot of potential in the late game to make plays, especially if you play around that bar and the Mega Gnar. Ornn also a really good late game scaling champion. He obviously is very tanky and can upgrade items for this whole team, so a lot of value there. Good engage potential with his ult as well. Jarvan, we know, is a very standard jungle pick. You know, a lot of good utility, good gap closer, good clear, just good all around early pressure. Wynn's a little bit more of a, scaling DPS kind of champion, but definitely she can be really good. She has a lot of healing. She's got some nice utility with her W, so she doesn't have too much of a problem there. Especially, Vulcan can certainly carry for his team. There is some synergy on the Northview side with the Yasuo. I mean, you do have the Jarvan knockup. I think you can, I'm pretty sure Yasuo can ult off of the Gnar ult as well, since it just kind of like moves them, displace them. Good trace happening bot lane here. Got a gank from Vulcan top lane. Looks like Gnar is going to be able to get out. Despite being in the mini Gnar form, despite being a little bit more vulnerable, kind of like an AD carry, the Gnar does have like a nice little dash, sometimes even a double dash if he lands on top of somebody. So he's able to get out there. Now, I did notice he did blow the flash, though. So in these first couple of ganks, I mean, that's considered a win if you're able to get the enemy flash. So Lambert already getting some small wins here. You have a first dragon coming out. This is going to be Kentech Dragon. Both junglers. We do know Jarvan's going to get a reset in. We would assume probably we'll see a Gwen reset here as well. Looks like Gwen will be pathing. Gwen started top side. Jarvan started bot side. Actually, I'm not sure about that. Actually, I think maybe Jarvan started top side. I already lost track of where they were. Not a great jungle tracker. I know Galio really likes to play around the mid-game, the early to mid-game, to make plays in the side lane. He also can have some good lane pressure. I don't think, I mean, just given this matchup, I don't think he's going to dominate the lane necessarily. Speaking of, let's go ahead and switch up the roles so that we can get everybody lined up. Looks like also in mid lane here to compare against the Galio in terms of gold. Either way, even if he doesn't dominate the lane, the Yasuo is happy to get items and to be a little bit of a scaling champion. You know, both top lanes obviously scale. We do have a potential dive here. I don't think Jarvan is able to land his knockup. Ooh, Yasuo takes a couple tower shots there. Looks like both junglers kind of hanging around mid. They know that if they can get a pick in mid or bot lane, then that really opens up an opportunity to grab Dragon. And it looks like support Rakan is going to roam up here as well. As that looks like Northview is kind of starting to maybe make a move towards Dragon here. Is Gwen actually going to recall and let him have it? I think so. Just maybe how chunked down the Yasuo got, or the Galio got there. I think that's going to be enough. We have an Ornn ult here, and that is going to be enough. One solo kill on the top lane. Meanwhile, Galio, I believe, may have canceled his recall here obscurely. He also picks up a kill off of that. He's got 2 levels on the Gwen. Is Gwen going to continue to chase here? I think Vulcan decides it's better not to, especially seeing the Northview bot lane roam up into mid. So, meanwhile, Lambert's bot has gotten some pressure here, but I do feel like this is probably going to be Dragon number 1 going over to Northview. Not be super clean. It's down to 1,000. Now it might be a 50-50 for it. And it looks like the Gwen smited early, so Jarvan does pick up the Dragon for Northview, but does go down in the process. Probably an okay trade, though. Vulcan has already used his ult here. He's going to try to get at least some of the channels into somebody. We do get a flash. Some damage traded back. A nice knock up into the tower. 1 shot, 2 shot, a heal from the Yuumi probably. Rakan swoops in, picks up the kill. Zeri almost killing the Talia here. But the Rakan shield is going to be enough to help get through that. And so our kill score evens out at 2-2. Looks like the gold score is pretty even. More blow for blow in the top lane. Nice Gnar combo. A lot of damage. Jarvan's here. And Galio bails out the Ornn. May have been okay anyway, but doesn't hurt. If you've got that ultimate available, go ahead and try to use it. And meanwhile, Lambert's going to use this opportunity to go ahead and try to get grubs, but Northview is circling in. They're going to get 1 for sure. Let's see. They might end up giving up the other 2. Gnar is a little low. Gnar and Ornn are both low, fairly. But I think that's going to be enough. I think Lambert's going to respect where Northview's health bars are at, and just going to go ahead and let them have the other 2 grubs. I believe both teams are closing in on their feats here. We'll see who gets it, who completes it first. It's a bit of a gold, like a 1,000 gold lead opening up in the middle lane. Yasuo's been able to kind of bully a little bit, CS really well, and pick up a kill. Try to turn my ping pong down just a little bit. And it looks like Zeri and Yuumi combo able to pick up a nice kill in the mid lane, in the bot lane rather. He also tries to go in for 1v2. He does pick up 1. Gwen's got her ult. He also sidesteps 1 or 2 of the needle channels and does have 2 levels, so I think Yasuo is going to be okay here. Continue to grow that lead in the mid lane. Venom is showing that they're a dominant player, and they bait the Gwen in. Nice job for Venom to bait and for the Jarvan to be ready to collapse for that kill. So good job by Northview. They might have another opportunity for a pick. Yumi's all alone. She's waiting to jump onto her Zeri. Oh, wow. Somebody just canceled it. I think. I'm not sure who canceled that there. So they're going to be able to get the Yumi. That was very impressive. And I think they're going to play it safe here. Maybe not try to overextend on the Zeri. I believe she ulted. But I don't know who canceled. I guess the... Oh, it maybe the Talia rocks on the ground maybe have like canceled the Yumi's attempt to jump to Zeri. So very, very good job by Northview there. So Northview with their dragon and a couple more kills now, kind of starting to grow a little bit of a lead. I looked at it in game 1 though. I do think having Venom on this solo lane on a champion like Yasuo is definitely a recipe that has worked for them in the past, so we'll see how it goes here. Always very interesting to watch teams. You know, when we're thinking about pro level, pretty much everyone's on the same level roughly. When you get to high school, you can have some different disparities just in how good players are, how prestigious they are. So sometimes it makes sense to make lane swaps when needed. So dragon number 2 is going to be water. It's going to be up in about 40 seconds. Looks like Lambert has Zeri, he just reset or just respawned. And the rest of the team is going to try to reset and go ahead and prepare, go ahead and buy items to get ready for a potential fight here. Assuming no team at this point really wants to give it up for free, but I know that Yasuo is looking pretty scary. The 2,000 gold lead. Almost double the CS, 3 kills. That's going to be really tough to deal with, and they might have a catch here. So it looks like PBM does get caught out by the Zeri Yumi duo here. So, and that is going to be 10 seconds till spawn, but the dragon's up in 3. So, I mean, the Talia does have an ultimate to try to help get to the fight, but that might open up a window for Lambert to grab the dragon. And I believe that yes, Gwen is already on the dragon by herself. Zeri's ready to flex. I mean, yeah, without that Talia, it might be hard. Jarvan might decide to go in for a play here. We'll see. And she's almost done it. I think that's just going to be it. Northview's just going to concede this dragon due to the Talia getting picked there. So evens out the dragon score 1-1 here. Zeri potentially looking for an engage / dive. I think they know the Jarvan's there though, so maybe they don't want to do that. But they are going to probably back up here. Meanwhile, they do have a roam top lane. Yasuo comes out to help the Gnar take down the Ornn, who is growing tankier by the day, by the minute, I shall say. And they still have to pick up that kill, so that's 4 kills, and Yasuo really stacking up T5 Venom here. You got a flash mid to dodge that Yasuo to you, as you know, that might have resulted in an ultimate there. Zeri doing some nice pressure, nice poke here. Since the Rakan is mid lane, they're going to go ahead and try to pressure. They're going to try to pressure Talia there in the 2v1. Luckily, mages like Talia are decent in a 1v2 situation. They can just try to clear the wave on her tower. Played pretty safe here, but we'll see. It is still going to be tough. Talia's wave clear isn't the best in the game. And meanwhile, the delete is just going to do as much damage to the tower as possible. I'd say in another wave or two, they probably will be able to just go ahead and siege that tower. We do have Jarvan roam in top lane for maybe another punish onto Ornn. Ornn is pretty tanky though. Definitely a good decision from Ornn to go straight for the Sunfire. It does look like the Northview's team comp is very AD heavy. I mean, their only AP is, I guess they're getting the AP coming from the Talia and the Rakan as well. But yeah, overall pretty AD heavy. So definitely armor is going to be very valuable for Lambert to pick up here. And yeah, as we thought, looks like they are able to seize that turret. I think that's the first turret. And that's going to be feats going over to Lambert. We got a Jarvan ultimate forcing the Gwen flash. Ooh. Also forces the Galio to try to save there. So another kind of early Galio. But we do have maybe a team fight breaking out here. We got a Rakan ult, we got a Zeri ult coming out, but everyone kind of backs off after that. Good job by Northview to have the discipline to cut him back off. Once the Zeri commits that ultimate, you can just wait until it runs out and then maybe re-engage again. We have a little bit of a scrap happening on the top side of the map with the Gnar and the Ornn, but they're going to back off. We do have Harold is up now, so that's going to be kind of the next target objective here, and we'll see how both teams are feeling about it. We do get a reset coming down from the Galio and the Orn, but Northview is not quite confident enough to jump in there yet. I mean, it looks like this Zeri is going to be really the powerhouse from the Lambert side to deal with, and we do get a Talia ultimate, but Zeri has no problem dashing right over that. Ooh, nice. Gnar tries to go in on the Gwen. Gwen is able to do a nice dodge of that ultimate, so there's another ultimate gone. It's hard to tell. We definitely do have decent ultimates across the board. A few decent ultimates, mostly Lambert ultimates, still up here, so maybe that's going to give them a little bit of confidence in this fight. They're going to go ahead and try to grab the scuttle. Harold's already halfway down, and Northview's there. Lambert may have gotten distracted by the scuttle. It looks like Northview is able to pick it up, but we are going to have a fight here. We do have a Yumi ult going off. We have a lot of ults going off here, a lot of damage, a lot of flashes. Everyone is committing everything. We got a double kill from Orn. Zeri's chasing the back line. I believe she has another ultimate. I think they're going to be able to chase Rakan here. They have plenty of movement speed. PBM Gamer caught as well. And wow, it is a 0 for 4 in favor of Lambert. So that's definitely going to be one of those moments where Lambert really looks to take advantage of a gold spike and take the lead in the game. Gnar, however, looking to see if he can maybe get something back here. The only surviving member. He does flash for the W. Does have his ultimate back up. Is it going to be enough? He does get one. He does get two. Awesome job by Shylove here. Maybe picking up a triple kill to keep the team back in the game and making sure that this team fight was not a waste. Awesome job there by the Gnar. Nice job by Shylove. Had 0 kills before that, but does manage to not get picked in the original fight, and then manages to pick up a 1 for 3, or I guess just a 3v1, and gets all 3 kills. So definitely Gnar really helping to salvage that fight for Northview. Amazing job there. And on top of that, going to use the strength from that extra grub to go ahead and knock down this top tower. I believe that's going to be the first tower for Northview to take away. And do remember that Northview did get the Herald as well, despite losing that fight. So let's see what they can do there. They have managed to retain the gold lead since they did take that tower. I believe actually thrust them back in the lead. And of course, like I said, they do have this Herald that they could drop probably either mid or bot. I think Yasuo is going to go ahead and get bot lane anyway. Yeah, there it is. So basically, since Lambert stayed around, got a little greedy, didn't respect the Gnar, and got kind of outplayed by the Gnar, and then their resets were delayed. Meanwhile, Northview was already respawning from the first fight, and they were able to get a couple dragons. We got a Talia here to kind of trap the Zeri, and the entire team is going to engage. She's still alive somehow. Lambert does a nice job backing up for the peel, and once again, another 0 for 4 with Gnar, the only surviving member. We will have to go back and watch that replay after the game. It looks like a big wombo from the Lambert side, and a very impressive job keeping the Zeri alive. Of course, you've got some of the shield and healing from the Yumi, and I guess probably the Galio ult as well. So just really good response from Lambert there to save their AD carry and to turn that fight around. Zeri does not die at all, surprisingly, and now Lambert's going to pick themselves up another dragon. So this game is just back and forth on the pendulum. Just when you think Lambert's up, Northview strikes back, but then Lambert strikes right back again. And this Zeri is looking very, very scary. 5-0-5, 3.7k above his counterpart in lane. And you've got that Yumi attached to you. You got the Galio backing you up. You've got another strong front line in the Orn. And even the Gwen can draw a lot of pressure and be a good flex. So definitely playing around this Yumi. Playing around the Zeri. I mean, that's definitely kind of what their comp is built to do. That's one of the strengths of their comp, and the strength of a champion like Zeri to scale into the late game and just be an unstoppable force. And so we'll see. I mean, she does have a dash. You know, you do have some knock-up type combos and tools to lock her down, but it's really hard to play through all of that. You know, you would think it would be Northview would be the team with all the wombo combo, but it seemed like it really was a cascade of the Lambert abilities there that did a lot of damage there. I don't know how Gnar is able to survive. I don't know if they're not playing around Gnar, if Gnar is not in the fights because he doesn't have the Gnar bar, or maybe he just gets lucky and gets away. You know, that could be part of the problem. Like maybe the Gnar is not committing to the fights in the first place. Not really sure there. Yeah, it's kind of tough to think, like, what is your game plan here for Northview in these team fights? When you lose team fights like that, you really got to assess and think about your strategy. Obviously, you know, a big wombo is nice, like the Gnar ult, or a nice, really, I mean, I guess it's almost more of a pick situation with the Talia, and you do have some good ults, but I guess you want to play around your Yasuo as well. I don't know if you're going to be able to kill the Zeri, but what other targets do you have? You got two massive tanks. You got a Gwen who has a ton of healing and is hard to target. And if they could not, I mean, literally their whole team was on top of Zeri and Yuumi right there and couldn't kill her. So that's like really looking tough for Northview. I think they probably just have to get picks here. I just don't know. It's surprising they just don't look too good in a 5v5. Meanwhile, Atacon is top, and everyone is posturing there except for both mid laners or bot lane. And they both do have teleport up if needed. And they both can cancel the other teleport if they need to. So neither team's going to commit to Atacon quite yet. Okay, yeah, so Northview dropped the Herald but didn't manage to get any value out of it. I think they were probably trying to put the Herald down to draw some pressure mid lane so they could go for Atacon. But Lambert does a good job of kind of like backing up and addressing the Herald to make sure they don't lose any tower damage. And still the team is really able to take the Atacon. We do know that starting the Atacon means that your armor and your defenses will be shredded, so it can make you vulnerable if it's not a sure play to make. Meanwhile, Dragon number 4 will be coming up in 2 minutes as well, so it looks like they might just wait for that. We do see 2 items coming through for most of the wealthy players, and a few players lagging behind with an item and a half. You're also going to do a lot of damage to Galio in the side lane, but it might just be a bait. Wins here. I don't know that you also can take the win 1v1. Let's see. Yeah, he is 2 levels, so he probably could, but not with the Galio there as well. And seeing as how there are 2 people bot lane for Lambert, Northview is going to make the call to start the Atacon. Especially with Gwen being the jungler being bot and having no teleport, so Gwen is going to hightail to top lane to try to get there. He's about halfway there. Yasuo teleport's going to come in. I think we're just going to maybe fight here. Or they're going to look to get the Atacon. They're going to focus down the Atacon, and they do manage to get it. So now what? Are they going to reset, or are they going to go ahead and fight while they're here? It looks like Lambert's going to try to push for a fight here. Gnar doing a lot of damage here. Forces the Orange Flash. Mega Gnar coming up. And it looks like that Jarvan already reset here. We do have the next dragon coming up in 30 seconds. Lambert going to try to maybe push mid here, go and get some resets of their own off, go and spend some gold. They do have the 1 grub to work with. Jarvan does have ult here, I believe, if needed, but you know, again, that is a really troubling thing. The Zeri can just dash through it. Dragon in 13 seconds here. Warren's going to push top with no teleport. He decides to go ahead and make his way to the play since he doesn't have another way to get there. Gnar does have teleport to potentially push the side lane, but I think the time's already here, so he's just going to go ahead and head straight to bot after that reset. Probably get some team fight damage on this next fight. Both teams here ready for this dragon. It looks like Lambert's going to go ahead and start it. I don't think Northview is going to go down without a fight, though. They're doing the Lambert front line is doing a great job of zoning in. Look at Ornn ult. Lambert takes the dragon, and it looks like Northview is just going to back off if there's no objective to fight for it, but they might not be able to back off. They might get forced into a fight here. I think that might be it. So Lambert just gets away. It really wasn't even a team fight to watch there. It was really just Lambert kind of going there, sneaking up the dragon. Don't know if Northview was I don't think Northview was planning on just giving it away, but that is Dragon's soul, or that's soul point for Lambert. That's 2 Earth Dragons on their side. As we know, the Earth Dragon going to give a nice defenses, nice shield, And that's going to be really tough for Northview to deal with because Lambert's tanky enough as is and hard enough to kill as is, so it's going to be really tough. And so I think Yasuo is pretty confident in this 1v1 here. We do get the sorry, you get the Galio flash, I believe, and is able to walk away there to Venom not going to overextend. The Atacon that Northview picked up earlier is definitely going to help. That's definitely a persistent buff. It's going to be nice. But yeah, definitely Lambert getting that 4th dragon, which is going to be kind of tough to deal with. Let's have a look at some other stats while we're at it. Let's see the total gold. So yeah, it looks like Zeri, that's who you want all your gold on. Followed by Shine Venom. And then on down from there. Let's have a look at the damage dealt as well. So it looks like Shine Love and Venom have done a lot of damage this game. And then the rest of Lambert follows suit. You have a 700 gold bounty on the Zeri here. Warren might be caught. All of Northview's here. I don't think he's getting out of this one. That's taking a second. And Gnar going to teleport to save mid. Try to at least, but it's going to be really hard to deal with that Zeri. That Zeri is so far ahead. 3 items. Gnar just going to try to keep him interested while Northview gets here. But I don't think Zeri's going to have a problem skating on out of here. So Zeri does get the tower as well. I think Lambert has grabbed 1, 2, 3 towers, and Northview has grabbed 2. Meanwhile, Northview looking for a Baron here. Caught me off guard as well. And now it's going to be a potential 50-50 for it. Oh no. Lambert gets the Baron, and I think that Northview was already kind of weak because of all that. Looks like they maybe managed to get one. No, I think it's just it's kind of a disaster for Northview here. And Zeri is more than happy to clean up here. So Northview loses 3 and the Baron. I mean, like, I feel like they may have been a little bit behind, but I feel like that was a little bit forward. I don't know that it was like a desperate. Maybe they felt desperate. I don't think so. I think that was maybe just a little bit of a cheeky play that ends up going wrong. I mean, I guess the Ornn being dead was like the idea that we have a 5v4, but I mean, whenever you calculate for the Baron debuff, I mean that kind of puts them in a very vulnerable position, and Lambert is able to capitalize, picking up another tower in the process and extending their gold lead to about 6k. So that's really going to be tough now. Northview's kind of dug themselves a little bit of a hole, and with the next dragon coming up at 120. If Lambert is able to get that, it's going to be really tough. I do want to say the Baron is going to be running out just before that, probably. But if you're Lambert here, you definitely would like to get a pick or force a fight while you still have the Baron. Or you could just also get enough lane pressure on the map, kind of bully out that way. And so, yeah, Northview knows they've got to get to this dragon. They've got to get here first. They've got to stay grouped. If any one of them tries to walk into a brush, it might be the end. None of them is really tanky enough to do that. Not the story for Lambert, though. They do have 2 tanks with 2 Earth Dragons each who are more than happy to go where they please. It's not Mundo, but it's the same idea. Looks like Ornn did not get the dragon buff. Oh, that hurts. Wow. I thought the Zeri skill shot like scaled with AP or something, but I guess clearly not, because that thing hurt. I know that PBM feeling kind of bad here, falling behind in this matchup, having a hard time. It's going to be really tough to play from behind, but luckily Talia does have some utility to work with there. Yeah, these brushes are just very dangerous for their side, for the Northview side. Galio's top with a teleport and an ultimate if need. He's going to be pulling some side lane pressure with the Baron. Gwen's already made her way into the pit, and we're going to go ahead and get the Galio ult in advance. Warren going to make sure he doesn't get caught out there. They've got a kind of a flanking position here. They could collapse, could pincer a little bit. Zeri more than confident to be by herself. Sliding King almost in trouble there, and yeah, all 5 members of Lambert with the Baron is just really hard. So what's it going to be? Is Northview going to give it up, or are they going to go all in here? I think they're going to try to go all in, but it's just not going to be enough. Sliding King instantly gets deleted. The rest of them are so grouped up, they're just going to get punished. I don't think they can really do much, unfortunately. They just had a really hard time team fighting this entire game. A lot of it due to their comp. Oh my goodness, yeah, they're just getting absolutely diluted here. Yeah, so this is looking really tough from Northview. This is it. I mean, if they lose this game, it is over for them. And it's looking like that may be the story here. Now that Lambert picked up the Dragon Soul, and they are mounting about an 8K goal lead right now. And they're looking to close out. They don't have the Baron anymore, but 3 members on Northview are dead, and about to be more. They do get 1. They do get the Gwen. Hard to get the Ornn as well. Okay, we get a little bit of a rally. Northview not going out without a fight here. A nice Talia ult to lock him in the pit, but she gets instantly deleted there. Can they get the Zeri here? I don't know. Zeri doing so much damage. A nice CC from the Gnar there, and they finally get the shutdown on Zeri. That is a pretty big deal here, and are they going to keep chasing? It's just the Galio. Northview really clawing their way back into this game, and Lambert is just kind of getting a little lazy. Maybe overcommits here a little bit, trying to end the game. They do pick up another kill in return. Is GHSA going to be able to get through this Yuumi healing? Yep, it will be enough. And they're going to pick up basically, so this is like an ace here. Wow, at 31 minutes, Northview says we are not done yet. They are going to pick up an ace. They are going to pick up the bounty. It looks like Zeri still has a 500 gold bounty even after dying and collecting that 700 or maybe even 1,000 gold bounty. So that has closed this gap a little bit. It looks like they're only up by about 4K now, so nice job by Northview there to punish that over aggression. Unfortunately, they do have a mid inhibitor down as well as a Nexus tower. And might have overcommitted here. Let's see. Yeah, they're going to back off. I think Venom's probably going to might go down here. Yeah, Zeri's back. Wins. Unfortunately, Northview then does a little bit of an overextension themselves. And that could be really dangerous as well. These are really long death timers, about 40, still about 45 seconds, about a 50-second total timer. And now that all of Lambert is back up, they've unfortunately got themselves right back in a bad position, especially with Northview's 2 strongest members now down, the last 3 remaining with 1 tower. This is the final stand right here, but it is a very fad Lambert. It is a Earth Dragon Soul. Can they clear the wave? And the mid inhibitor is already missing, and no hesitation, Lambert just runs right to the tower. Gwen is knocking it down. Northview giving it their best effort, their last attempt, but it is not enough. And Lambert is going to be your 2025 Georgia High School League of Legends champions with a 2-0 sweep in this final series. Once again, showing why they were the #1 seed, the favorites to win, and they absolutely delivered. I think we have to give the MVP for this game to Delete. I know he has been maybe a little bit overshadowed by Yasuo, Mother, and Vulcan in some of the previous games, but this was definitely his opportunity to take the stage, to really pull out a impressive performance, and once again, a nice job from his team to play around him. They had a pretty clean game all the way through. It was a little bit of back and forth, and there was a little bit of a hesitation at the end. But, I mean, it just goes to show when you prioritize the Dragons, build yourself that objective permanent buff, and then I think they just played really well as a team. They fought together really well, and they played to their comp strength, and they drafted really well. So nice job by Lambert. I think it was a hard fought. It was a good fight from Northview in both games and all season and in the playoffs. Some impressive performances. Shy Love and Venom definitely stood out in particular. But just as a whole, they just weren't able to surmount the mountain that is Lambert. So amazing job to Lambert. Congratulations on their 2025 victory. And we look forward to the spring season and what these players and what these teams have in store in the future. But for now, we will leave it there. Thank you everyone for watching, and we will see you all next time.